Help.
Engaged.
Greetings everyone. In this episode, I will show you how to avoid permadeath in the I never asked for this difficulty mode. I will first show how it's done on the PlayStation 4, since that is probably the simplest way, and then I will explain how it's done on the PC. I will also show how it might work on the Xbox One, but since I don't own an Xbox One, it will be mere speculation. Okay, so here we are, near the end of the Dubai level, just before a massive firefight takes place. Since chances of dying are very likely here, I will first save my game. In fact, I have already saved my game, on the only save slot this game allows, while in this mode. If we die, then the save game is locked by the game, making it unusable. To avoid this, I will show you how to back up this save. So, first thing, you will need to stick a USB thumb drive, or any storage device the PlayStation 4 recognizes, into the front of it. Second, go into the user interface, by quickly tapping the PlayStation button on your controller. I should point out, that other people share this PlayStation, so games I would never play, like Rocket League, and FIFA, are in the user interface. I'm sure they are good games, but they don't really interest me. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. So, first go into Settings. Then, Application Save Data Management. A prompt will tell you the game will close. Say OK to that. Choose the first option, Save Data in System Storage. Then the second option, Copy to USB Storage Device. From the list of games, choose Mankind Divided, obviously. Then choose the appropriate game save. The latest save should be at the top. If you are not sure, make a note of the timestamp while you are in game. Next, select Copy. As you can see, I have copied it once already, so I will not copy it again. But this is the basic process of backing up your game save. Now we can return to the game. Let's just confirm again, that this is permadeath mode. And now, let's start the firefight. I will deliberately play recklessly, so that we can die. Then we will see how this game reacts to our deaths in this mode.
We're gonna lose Singh! Jensen, I can't reach him!
So this is the message we get. Save data locked. Death is permanent in the I never asked for this difficulty level. The data from this save file is no longer accessible. Oh really? We'll see about that. Anyway, it is worth noting that the save file is now highlighted in red, meaning we can no longer access it. Don't worry, we'll fix that in a moment. It is also worth noting the timestamp on the save file. So now, we have to go back to the UI, and navigate back to where we backed up the save game. In other words, Settings, then Application Save Data Management. Again, we will be prompted to quit the game. This time, we will choose the third option, Save Data on USB Storage Device. And then the first option, Copy to System Storage. After choosing Mankind Divided, we should see the game save we backed up earlier. When we select it and choose Copy, we will see this overwrite prompt. Note that there is a 22-minute difference between the timestamps on each save. The one in System Storage is the one that is locked. By overwriting it with the earlier save, we will have an unlocked save again. Make sure to click Yes to overwrite the game. Now let's go back to the game and see if we can continue. And as you can see, we can continue the game, the save is no longer locked. And now, with the PlayStation 4 out of the way, let's take a look at the PC version. Once again, we are at the same point in Dubai. I will save the game right now, and then show you where to find it on your computer. Make sure to note the timestamp, because although it says, save number 132, it can be a totally different number when you look at it in the folder. And here is the actual folder where the save is located. The path to the folder will depend on which hard drive you installed the game to. I installed it to the D drive, so here is the path to this folder. First we have the Steam folder, followed by the user data folder. The next folder, which I have highlighted in red, represents your Windows login ID. So if you have multiple login IDs, like I do, then you will have more folders in the user data folder. The next folder, which I have highlighted in green, represents this game's ID. This will be the same number, no matter which computer the game is installed on. So if you want to quickly find this folder, just search for 337000 in your Steam folder. The final folder, highlighted in blue, is the one that actually contains the game save files. As you can see here, based on the timestamp, the save file in the folder is 135, and not 132. Okay, so now that we have found our game save file, we need to back it up. What I propose, is that you make another folder, called backup, and copy the game save file there. I created one right next to the remote folder and this is the path. Just remember, that because this new folder is on the same hard drive as the remote folder, we mustn't just simply drag and drop the file, because that will move it to the backup folder. We want to right-click the file, and then drag it to the backup folder. On release, we will get this context menu, from which we can choose, copy here, and this will back up our game save file. Now let's go back to the game, and die on purpose again.
This is bad! They're closing in! We're gonna lose Singh! Jensen, I can't reach him! Jensen, this sandstorm might have just bought us some time, but you need to disable that chopper.
Copy that.
And just like before, the save data becomes locked, and appears with a red background in the load screen. The timestamp has also changed, from 2144 to 2150. The next step is very important. We must quit the game, because simply overwriting the game's save with an unlocked copy will not be enough. The game isn't fooled so easily. Going back to our folders, we can see that in the top one, the game save has indeed been changed, and its timestamp is now 2150. So what we will do, is copy our backup save, from the bottom folder, to the top one, again, right-clicking and dragging it. Choose the top option, copy and replace. And as you can see, the backup game save has replaced the locked one. Now let's go back to the game and see if we can continue. Yep, we can continue, and if we look at the game save, it is the old one, with a 2144 timestamp. Some may argue, that backing up the game in this way, is cheating. Well, here's my answer to that. This game is very glitchy, and with glitchy games, sometimes you might find yourself in a situation that can only be resolved by loading a different, earlier, game save. Since this game only allows one game save slot in this mode, that will not be possible, meaning you might have to live with the effects of the glitch, for the rest of this game. You don't have to back up the game save, if you think it's cheating. After all, it is your time, and you can risk wasting it, any way you want. Some of us, however, are not willing to take that risk with our time, especially when you consider how long this game is. Anyway, in order to use the technique shown in this video effectively, you will have to periodically back up your game saves. Let's save again, to get a different timestamp. 2207. You can keep just one game save backup, if you want. but you can also rename the game save, and keep multiple backups from different parts of the game, for extra security. For example, here is the backup folder on its own. Each of these saves is a backup, from different parts of the game. Note how I have labeled some of them with descriptions. One of them says, after failed Praxis kit pickup. Remember the glitches I was talking about earlier? Well, one of them happened during my playthrough, and I wasn't able to pick up a Praxis kit, because a container wouldn't open. The only way I resolved this issue, was to load an earlier save. So call it cheating if you want, but I like to call it common sense. So, we have covered the PS4 and PC versions on how to back up the game save. Now it's time for the Xbox One, for which I have two theoretical methods. Because, as mentioned earlier, I don't own or have access to one, so this is all just speculation, at least as far as backing up your permadeath game save goes. But what is not speculation, is the fact that Microsoft does not allow you to back up your game saves to a USB flash drive anymore. You probably can back them up to an external hard drive, but only if it has been formatted by the Xbox One itself, meaning it will not be accessible by any other device. So method 1 you could use, is to set up an external hard drive with your Xbox One, and see if you can make a copy of your game save there. If it allows you to have two local copies, then you can simply overwrite one with the other. The second method involves using cloud storage. Let's say you get to the end of the do-by stage, as shown in this video. You should make a save, and then sync this save with the cloud. After this, you should disconnect from the internet. And if you die, then simply delete your local save, restart the game, connect to the internet, and download the save from the cloud, and hopefully, this should allow you to continue the game. So if you have an Xbox, and any one of these two methods work, then please let me know by leaving a comment below. Anyway, that's all we've got time for, so please remember to comment, thumbs up and subscribe, if you liked this video, or found it helpful. This is Blade, and it's goodbye from me.